Hello everyone, welcome to my art video. My name is Rachel and I will be showing you my day 2 Inktober piece in a speed paint format. So you will get to see how I made this from inking the base sketch to adding all the pretty colors. Okay. Uh, so just a quick note for those who have been part of this channel. I know that's not many, but I figured I should say something anyway. I just recently changed my name. I was RynnLight, but now I am RachaelVTStudio. And the reason I changed it was because I figured if this really takes off and I end up really helping people with the future art tutorials I want to do, or just people get to know me, I don't know. I want to be helpful. I want to get myself out there, but I really just want to help more than anything, which is what the biggest artists I find on YouTube do is that they're just so helpful and great. I really want to be like that. So I decided I wanted people to refer me by my actual name. So yeah, this is now Rachel videos, not Rynn or RynnLight videos. Woo! Anyway, so let's talk about this piece a little. Actually, a lot. I've got quite a bit to say. So what I'm using to ink the piece is a dip pen. So I actually got the pen holder and a bunch of nibs from a Speedball set. I believe it was the sketching set. But I actually bought a nib, not from the set, which is what I'm using right now. It's a Globe 513, something like that. And the reason I like it is because it holds a lot more ink. And for big pieces like this, and I like my lines pretty thick, it's really handy and really helpful. And the ink I'm using is Higgens Black Magic ink. It's definitely a really good ink for someone who's starting out because it's not as expensive. In the tiny bottle I got, it's about 1 ounce. Takes you a very, very long way. I've used it many, many times. I've played around with it so much and it's still going. So right now I'm using a kneaded eraser to clean up all the lines. I like using it more than a regular eraser because I find it doesn't rub away any of the pigment of the ink. And here I am using my tiny Tombow mono eraser, or at least it was. Now I'm here. uh, and I use that for really small pencil marks that I either can't get to with my kneaded eraser well, or more so that it's just too heavy that I can't get it off. And I know I could use a light table. I actually have a little one, but it's too much work. I've tried it before and I just don't have the patience to line up my paper and make sure it's all set down and then trace over it slowly and just I just don't feel like it. I'm kind of lazy in that department. So instead I put in the agonizing effort to sketch more lightly when I do my base sketch and then when I ink over it, so then once I ink over it, I can erase it once the ink's dry, which is a pain because it took me a little while to not only figure out how long it took for the ink to actually dry, but to actually have the patience to wait, because it takes a long while for it to dry before you can erase anything. So this video was actually made in a lot of breaks because I had to stop, let the ink dry, and then keep working. So this one took quite a few hours, I think. I can't remember how long exactly. But it was worth it. I actually enjoyed my entire time, and a couple of times I wish I didn't have to take a break because I just wanted to keep working, but I had to wait for some ink to dry. Oh man, I love that. I love the dip pens. They're so much fun. I definitely suggest going out and get some. You can get the Speedball sketching set and the Higgens Black Magic ink. I don't remember how much it costs, but it's a lot cheaper than most things you can get. Higgens is cheaper than other India inks, but oh, it works really well. It's a really great starter. I'm hoping to upgrade to the Speedball Black India ink because I've seen a lot of reviews where it's better. So yeah, but it's honestly a lot of fun. I definitely suggest trying it out. I was actually inspired by Mary Doodles to do ink drawing. So I'd say type in the subscription box, Mary Doodles Ink, and you'll find a bunch of awesome videos made by her. She even made a tutorial about inking, so definitely go check that out if you decide, hey, this looks pretty cool, or I've seen other artists do this. Alrighty, enough about that. Let's talk about what I'm doing now. That is applying the purple ink. This is a liquid acrylic ink by Rowny, sorry, and it's a FW Pearlescent, and I got this in a Sketchbox. I used to be part of Sketchbox, but I had to cancel the subscription for financial reasons. But it actually came with the brushes that I'm using in this video, and it's really fun. It's really awesome to play with. It's thicker and it's very glittery. That's the thing I was disappointed about in both this video and when I scanned the drawing to post it online, was that you don't get to see the shimmer. You don't get to see the glitter of the ink shimmer around this drawing. I say shimmer a lot. But it was just really cool, and actually this was the ink that gave me the idea for the name Starlight. Because I was thinking, what can I use this ink for? Then I ended up doing some doodles, and I ended up with her, and I stuck a star, and I'm like, hey, this is cool. I really want to put more purpose and stories into my artwork, but this was for Inktober, and I only had a day to figure this out, so... So I'm like, let's just worry more about using the ink and learning how to play with it than telling a story right now, which is fine. What I actually did for the face was that I've been watering down the ink. I've actually been watering down the ink for a lot of parts of this drawing, and that's because I just didn't want it so thick. I wanted some tints and tones and to have really good shading, so I did have to water it down a little, not a lot. And either way, like it would usually spread out and thin out anyway. And this part, I also had to take a couple of pauses because the ink would still be wet. So when I try to add more ink, it would just absorb and not get darker like I wanted to, or just spread around. So I inked the parts I wanted to. I did the best shading I could. Then I would just continue on to another part and just keep adding the paint. Well, liquid acrylic, it's not paint, it's ink. But it sure feels like paint. It just feels like really thin up paint. Kind of like watercolor paint if you water it down, actually. I think that's the best description, even though it's liquid acrylic. It does feel like more like watered down watercolor paint because it is pretty transparent when you water it down more. I enjoyed working with this a lot. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. And yeah, it came out so much better than I thought it would. Like I was showing it to people, and people were just like, "Oh man, that actually looks really good." Well, I shouldn't say that actually, because usually the people I show it to have more confidence in my art than I do. Though I have gotten a lot better where I can say, yes, I do have skill in art. Yes, my artwork is not trash, but there's still a lot I need to learn and figure out and get better at. So, trying to get that balance. uh, sorry, just trying to figure out what to talk to. I didn't want to show in this video anymore because I didn't want it to be too fast. Plus, it's good that it's a long video because I need to practice talking more and do less editing in my videos. I really want to do it straight through, mostly because doing the voiceover, it's easier when you're in tune with the painting that you're doing or drawing that you're doing, so you can comment as it goes instead of trying to edit it and time it the best you can. This is actually my second take. My first take, did not like it at all. So hopefully the second one will be much, 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 much better. There's a part that comes up. I'll come up in a second. I'll mention it once it comes up, and I'll explain why I brought it up in the first place. Um, so my style is more of a cartoony kind of style, I guess, and as cool as it would be to do realism, and I've done a couple in quotation, realism pieces with my colored pencils, I enjoy making cartoons more. I enjoy having the bright colors and thicker lines and just the slightly exaggerated parts like the eyes. I mean, they do look more human because they're almond shaped, but the right. They're not exactly the right size. They're bigger than they should be. My style, I would say, is influenced from anime and Disney. And bam! Hey, I timed that right. So, so in this, so what happened there was that after I finished painting the girl, I took a break, wanted to let the ink dry, and I needed to get up because I was sitting for quite a while working on this. I'm actually taking my sweet time when I do this video, no matter how fast it looks. And then I sat down, and started recording. I mean, not recording actually. I sat down and started to draw. Forgot to hit record. I didn't realize until that part where you just saw I was just like, oh, I forgot to hit record. Oh no. So what I did was I used a bigger brush and laid out the Higgens Black Magic ink, watering it down to get it a little grayer. I didn't want to be pitch black, plus then I could get more ink spread out. And then I used the liquid acrylic for some stars to get some shimmer in there, which you can vaguely see, but not very well. And then here I'm adding more stars with my Uniball Signo pen, and that's pretty sweet, to be honest. I love it. I think it's great. I prefer it more than the Jelly Roll because it's not very opaque. I mean, it is opaque. It's not very transparent, unlike the general Jelly Roll. Anyway, this is the finished product. I will someday get a better quality camera and maybe a better light, but it's pretty decent. I really enjoyed making this piece, and I'm really learning a lot from making these pieces and doing the videos. Um, Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!